my word. Old tight SX. Big up all the stay fresh man them.
Stay fresh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so welcome to the long-awaited custom build and my first custom build, which is basically going to take place inside because it's been raining for days and I want to get my bike built so that I can roll out. So yeah, I'm going to start with the frame, which I have here, 1970s vintage style Ginelli track frame. It's got some nice lugs on it because it's Reynolds 531 tubing. The lugs have got some Colnago-like symbol on it, so I don't know if it's a shoot-off from the Colnago brothers. But yeah, it's a pretty good frame. It's got some pretty nice Campagnolo track drops on it, if you can see that there. It's a bit hard to see with the paint job. But yeah, pretty good frame. It originally came in white with a chrome fork. The fork itself, because it's a track bike, it had no hole for the brake, so I had to send that to Donahue Cycles so they could drill a hole in there for me. Once I received that back, sent the whole frame off to Colourtech in Dartford for them to put this crazy flip paint on. So they first sandblasted the frame down, take out all the imperfections, primered it, and then put this flip paint on. It's a bit hard to see on the camera, but it's like purple, blue flip paint with some other colors. You can see some green in there, red, etc. It's a pretty nice paint. It's maybe too nice to have on a bike that I want to use, you know, day to day, but you know, whatever. So got that back from Colourtech, and then basically took it to Mamachari for them to put the bottom bracket in. I didn't really want to mess with the bottom bracket because yeah, I didn't know what size it was going to be, plus you know, it's got a fresh paint job, etc. So I just paid to have that put in, and then I also got them to clamp the headset on. Obviously I haven't got a clamp, and again with the paintwork I didn't really want to mess around with hammering stuff into the neck, so just paid for that to be done. And yeah, got the frame back and it's ready for the other components. Alright, so moving on to the wheels now. Both of them are carbon fiber for that extra lightness. My front one is a tri-spoke clincher with a depth of around 70 mil. The 70 mil means that I can fit a 80 mil inner tube here. So I've got 80 mil valve on the tube, so that's just enough to go through there and come out of the top with no problem. My second wheel for the rear is a bit different. This is carbon fiber. Yeah, normal spoked, but it's a very deep rim. It's 88 millimeters. This rim here. So yeah, I think the longest valve you can buy for inner tube is around 80 mil. So for this wheel, I had to basically buy a valve extender, which is this here. So basically, yeah, I had to buy a inner tube with a valve of around 50 mil, so a shorter valve, and then a valve extender of around 40 mil. So together makes around 90 mil, which is just enough to come through on this 88 mil wheel. So yeah, I've got Schwab Lugano tires, 23 millimeters thickness, and then just got two inner tubes. I think there's Schwab as well. I think these actually just came with the tires. So yeah, I've got two inner tubes there. Sorry, no, one I bought separately, obviously, the 90 mil valve. I had to buy that separately. But yeah, I'm going to put these together now. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to put the tire and tube onto the front wheel. So yeah, front tri-spoke carbon fiber wheel with a braking line added in. So normally I like to put normally I put half of the tyre on first. So just one side of the tyre, put it like that. And yeah, that's one side's all on. Then I like to put the tube valve in next. So that goes in there. Then I put the tube into the tyre. Just push up the valve a little bit to make sure the tube's in the tyre.
Ready. I'm chilling in the alley, hogging the ling on my laps when they're ready to put on the valley. No diddy dally, you'll be a memory like Camden Pally. I don't care if you come with a couple man, I don't care if you come with your...
Alright, so that's all in. And then once the tube is all in into the tyre, start pushing the tyre, the second side of the tyre on. So just push up the valve, make sure that the tube is actually inside the tyre, like that. Then push the both walls of the tyre inside, and then just make sure you go around the wheel, pushing in the other side of the tyre. This is just my method. I don't know if this is the best method to do this, but this is how I do it and it works for me every time. So when you get to the end, this bit will be pretty tight. You should be able to do it with your hands. If you can't, these tools here, which come with bicycle repair kits, are pretty invaluable for doing this. So just squeeze that in there, or just pop it in. Slide it in. And there you go. That tube and tyre should be on there pretty good. Now on the valve, there's not that much space left. So before I put on the washer, I'm just going to pump up the tyre first, just to make sure that there's enough space on there for my bicycle pump to get on. And I'm just going to put this pump on. Push the valve down so that you can make sure that the pump goes on correctly. Just push that on there, open this up, that should be good, ready to pump. I've got no pressure valve on the pump, so I'm not too sure when it gets to the correct PSI. This one says it should be from 85 to 130 PSI. But normally I just pump it until I can't pump anymore, and that's probably enough. It's probably around 80 or 90 PSI.
Do my, cause I think I need pen and paper. Think it time to ban another faker. 2 minute MC turn translator. Mix my data with their data. But what does that equal? Blood in my...
Alright, so broke a sweat. I reckon that's good to go. I'm just going to put the little washer on there now that basically makes sure that the valve stays where it should stay. I'm just going to close the valve itself so no air gets out. And then just put a dust cap on. Now this wheel is quick release. As you can see, there's a hole there. So I've got a quick release skewer that I'm going to put on here. So I'm just going to unscrew this. And you want to put the wheel in between the two springs. So the two springs are here. I'm just going to take this off, put it through the hole, put the spring back on, and put the other side back on. Screw it up a bit. And this wheel is now ready for use. I'll tighten it up further once I get it onto the frame. But yeah, that's basically good to go now. So this is the second wheel. Just gonna basically do the same process. Put the wheel or the tyre on one side at a time.
With a Smith & Wesson glove, there's no print on a weapon, love, get none of that round this section. Flashy fighter fold.
Alright, that's on. And then like I said before, I didn't put the valve in. But this valve is a bit different. It's not actually going to go all the way through because it's too short. And you can't put the valve extender on before you put it through. It's got to go, the valve extender's got to go on this way. So I'm just going to put the valve in there for now, where it should go. And then push the valve and the tube into the tyre all the way around the wheel.
For the story, blood, you didn't want to war, you ignore me, blood. What happened to the plan you had for me, blood? All that talk about boring. You're gonna.
Alright, so the tube's in the tyre, half of the tyre's on the wheel. Now we're just going to push the other side of the tyre onto the wheel. Hopefully it shouldn't be too hard.
If I was you, I'd worry. I make a move somewhere down sorry. And I'm just generally speaking. Close your mouth when they're generally speaking. Don't let me catch your enemy when they're sleeping. Take everything I'm keeping. All of your food and pee I'm eating. You get left with your head top leaking. Before you can get to the lane you're reaching for. Man, I quick out the door. Into a whip that.
Alright, and that should all be on. Now somewhere in this hole is going to be the valve. So I'm just going to reach this valve extender inside to the hole. Hopefully it'll pick up the thread and I can just turn it and it'll connect to the other valve. Just push that in there. I'm not sure if I can feel it. I don't want to lose my valve extender inside the wheel. Alright, so I'm turning it, and it stopped turning, and I'm pulling it up and it's not coming out, so I'm guessing it's connected to the other valve. Now this small silver piece, this silver piece here, this is what connects to the actual valve. So if you turn this, it should undo the valve. And then you should be able to start pumping it. As you can see, it's there's a very small piece to grab hold of, so hopefully that's not going to cause too much issues when I'm pumping this. If I can, I'm going to try and push this from at the top here. Alright, yeah, it's pretty pumped. I'm just going to turn this silver piece in here so that it turns the valve back so no air comes out. So as you can see, I can push that up and down, can't hear any air coming out. So that's pretty good. So there's no thread on here to put a washer, so I'm just going to put the dust cap straight on. And I might put a little bit of black insulation tape just inside here because the valve's rattling a lot on the wheel itself. I don't know how that'll be when I'm riding. Sounds like it could potentially be pretty annoying, but I'll put the whole bike together first and see if it's still rattling. If it is, then I'll just put a piece of insulation tape in there to stop that noise. But that's the second wheel done, and that's the wheels. Just to note as well, on the front here, I've put a quick release skewer in, but you know, obviously I don't want to go and lock my bike anywhere with a quick release skewer on. So